It was Lewis who put me onto all this study of the environment as a teaching machine. To use our more recent terminology, Lewis was the person who showed me that the man-made environment was a teaching machine, a programmed teaching machine. But earlier, you see, the symbolists had discovered that the work of art is a programmed teaching machine. It's a mechanism for shaping sensibility. Well, Lewis simply extended this private art activity to the corporate activity of the whole society in making environments that basically were artifacts or works of art, and that acted as teaching machines upon the whole population.
In a time like this, where the written word and the spoken word, through commercial media, reaches millions of people with tremendous force, with the prestige of huge agencies of expression behind them, it seems above all important that intense training in language is demanded if the society is to retain its health.
We don't understand information movement and image making as warfare at all. We call this advertising. Actually, Madison Avenue is a major military operation, vastly aggressive, and out to conquer empires, territories within the human heart, the human senses. It is a huge military operation of empire building and icon making. If we had the slightest consciousness of social responsibility, instead of just a sort of a private subconscious, totally inadequate to our technology, we would teach our children in our schools how to protect themselves against media fallout and advertising fallout. It's simply fantastic, the unconsciousness of our Western world with regard to the forces that we release upon it. And the little areas in which we permit ourselves any consciousness or responsibility are minute compared to the real areas of impact. Advertising is a vast military operation intended openly and brashly intended to conquer the human spirit. The critics of advertising miss the bus entirely by complaining about false claims. Nothing could be more or less important than the false claims in advertising. It is the total icon-making activity that matters. And in the degree that these men are icon makers, these agency men, they certainly have the right to call themselves creative artists. Whether they perform a good, benign social function is open to question, but as creators of tremendous effects, they are artists. Remember, an artist is primarily concerned with getting your attention, whether he's a poet or a musician. His first wish and hope is to trap your attention. This is the first hope and wish of every advertiser. He is an artist certainly to that extent. He wants to shape your attention, to shape your sensibilities, to create an effect upon you. Whether you believe a word he says, it couldn't matter less to him. He is interested only in effects, and not in changing your opinions or thoughts about anything. And this is also true of a poet. Couldn't care less what you thought or felt about him or anything, as long as he gets his effect across.